Hi! First of all, sorry that I'm vlogging from bed. I'm super exhausted, but I still wanted to catch up. It is Thursday night now, and since the last time I checked in, which was I think Saturday, I've read barely anything. Honestly, it's been awful. I've been working a lot of overtime, so all I've done is sleep, eat, and work, literally. It's just so funny for me to think that I'm doing a haunted house readathon when in reality academia is the actual haunted house that I cannot escape. But anyways, let's talk about books. I think I mentioned that I was super excited for Monstrelia, but I only managed to read 3 pages on Sunday. And that's it. I haven't picked it back up at all. So of course we're not talking about that. I hope I can read it this weekend. But I did finish an audiobook. I finished Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Why did I have so much fun with this book? Because it is actually stupid. In some way, I think it was the perfect book for me to listen this week. Because it was like brain, don't know her, don't need her. Really, no thoughts were put in this book. Only words. And for some reason, there was something about it that I really loved, and I'm going to try to explain to you what it was. I don't know if I explained the premise of this book in my previous clip, but the gist is that there is this couple and they are driving to a remote location in Scotland to spend a weekend, and essentially this weekend is going to decide whether they stay together or not because their marriage is crumbling. And the book is written in a way where we get the wife's perspective, the husband's perspective, and there is also a bit of narrative communicated through letters that the wife writes to the husband every anniversary, but they're meant to be secret letters just for her to write. She's not meant to give them to him. And through the letters is how we learn much of the past. The book starts super obnoxious, and maybe it's just the marriage in trouble kind of trope, because both the wife and husband really suck, but I don't think you're meant to like them anyways. So that's okay. Now, without going into much detail about the plot, I will say that what I absolutely loved about this book was the way the main twist was delivered. The twist in itself was fine, nothing groundbreaking, but it's truly just the way it was introduced into the narrative. It was not only a plot twist, it was also a twist in how the whole story was structured and how it was being told. I know I'm being very vague, but I really don't want to spoil this because it was actually really good. It just made me really reframe everything I thought I know about the story so far. So it was less about this element of surprise where something really unexpected is revealed. It was more of a surprising reframing of what the story was so far. I don't know if this makes sense at all. I just really loved how it was done. However, I don't think this book is good, and for now I'm more inclined to blame the editors. I feel like no one told Alice Feeney that her twist and the way she constructed the narrative were good, so she felt the need to add more random twists and way too many misdirections. And also, why was everyone an unreliable narrator? I feel like if everyone is unreliable and everything is a misdirection, then nothing makes sense. And anything can happen, and then it's not even surprising anymore. I don't know, it was just too much. I wish she would have streamlined her plot, and for me that would have had much more of an impact rather than trying to keep track of all the random things that were being introduced. Also, please, why every minute or so the author kept trying to drop these like philosophical deep statements, but really they made no sense at all. You should be just telling the story and then out of nowhere be like, secrets are only secrets to those who don't know them yet. I mean, yeah, that's the definition of a secret. And just like really random lines like that, but all the time, and all of them absolutely meaningless. I don't know, this book was too much and nothing at all at the same time. It was so confusing. Why did I enjoy this? Oh, and one more thing. I promise you this is the last thing. The author also decided to have a character that is just like really mean to people and unlikable. and she describes them as being the type of person that leaves 1-star reviews of books. Why, in the year of our Lord 2023, are mainstream authors still complaining about 1-star reviews, especially in such a passive-aggressive way? Okay, to be fair, this book is not from 2023, but it's not that old. And I don't think it's acceptable at this point anymore. I'm tired. People paid for this book. They actually gave you some of their hard-earned money. And even if they didn't, they gave you their time reading their book. You cannot complain about 1-star reviews. I don't know, maybe I'm being oversensitive, but it just annoyed me a lot. I know this has been really negative, but as I said, I actually had fun with this book and I even started another Alice Feeney. So if I hate this new one, truly there is no one to blame except myself. Okay, I need to get some sleep. I will honestly see you when I see you because I don't know what's happening in my life.
What? Partiers! Congrats! You made it through the basement room. And I hope you guys have some good luck. And just remember who's watching. They ain't just ghosts you gotta worry about, bitch! Film crew! We're getting all the gossip. Y'all are gonna be in our documentary, so we're gonna have all those drunk shenanigans documented for all of time. So, you know, it is what it is, but enjoy trying to escape.
Hi, it's Friday now. I'm currently on sprints with Lauren from Happy Haunts Library, but I wanted to catch you up on what's been going on in the haunted house. We finally made it to the basement door. I feel like this took so long, but we're finally there. We got our 2 prompts as usual, but this time the prompts are super complicated. Without going into too much detail, for one of them you have to pick a book based on the author you read last, and the other one is based on the color of the cover of your last read, and then you have to go kind of like backwards in the rainbow. Anyways, the first one was really easy because the last book I submitted was Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. And even though the US and UK covers are different, I went with the US cover, which is white. So that meant that now I had to pick a book that had a black cover. So I picked up another Alice Feeney book. Because why not? I mean, it was mostly because it's available through my library, so that makes things really easy for me. And the cover for this one is black, which is exactly what I needed, and I haven't even said the book. It is Daisy Darker. So I started that on Friday and I actually listened to the whole thing in one day. I don't want to talk too much about it because I will make a separate video with some Alice Feeney thrillers, but I really liked this one. I think I liked it much more than Rock, Paper, Scissors. I mean, again, it's not anything earth-shattering, but it was super entertaining. It was kind of cute and whimsical, and it takes place on Halloween Day in kind of like a rundown house by the sea, and it's kind of like a And Then There Were None setup, and also a little bit like a game of Clue. It was really cute and I was pretty into it, so that's why I just listened to the whole thing in one day. So because I submitted that for one of the prompts, that means that now I had to pick a book with a title that started with a letter F. I didn't find anything. So the other option was a book with a violet cover, and I used the same strategy I've been using from the beginning. I went into the Kindle Unlimited catalog and more specifically to the Rewind or Die series, and I found one with a purple cover that looks pretty good. It is Camp Neverland by Lisa Quigley. It says it is a bit of a coming of age story that happens at a summer camp, and I think it's going to be a slasher, so I was really tempted to save it for next month's Killer Corn Readathon that's gonna be hosted by Kelsey from Slime and Slashers, and it's exclusive to some tiers of her Patreon, so if you're interested in that, make sure to check it out because it looks like it's going to be incredibly fun. And that is all for now. I will check in with you later. Bye!
Well, what do we got here? What are you, the partiers? Hey you, Katrina, put down the frog. And of course, I hope you survive. Or not. I mean, I'm lonely here, so you guys can just hang out here forever. Okay, okay, I can see you already reading. Okay, bye.
Good morning, it's Sunday today, and yesterday I was on sprints with Amy and Lauren, and a lot of reading happened during those sprints, so let me just give you an update on where we are. I think I said we reached the door, and based on the prompts I had to pick a book with a purple cover, and I decided to read Camp Neverland by Lisa Quigley, which is part of the Rewind or Die series. And this was only about 86 pages, so I read the whole thing in 2 sprints, and it was really good. Obviously it's short, so it's a very straightforward story. You kind of know from the beginning what's going on, but it's still fun to read about. It is so summery because you have this group of girls. They are at art camp, so they spend the day doing art, and then at night they're making s'mores by the fire and telling ghost stories and all of that. So it's a great summer read, but obviously the camp hides a secret, and we get to see what that secret is, and it is quite fun. So that was good. On audiobook, I'm still listening to Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. This is just gonna go as a mood read, and I don't really have much to say at this time. I have no opinions yet. And then for the other prompt, we had to choose based on the title of the book. And I found one that was already in my Kindle that fit the prompt, and that is Queen of the Cicadas by V. Castro. And although I really want to read this book, I'm starting to get a bit nervous because there's only 4 days left in the month, and I still have to finish Monstrilio. And by finish, I mean start, because I literally only read 3 pages, so not a lot of progress there. And that doesn't fit any prompt, so it would just have to be a mood reading as well. Also, how are we gonna get out of here in 4 days? I don't know if that's happening. Maybe we'll just die here. Anyways, the live show for Monstrilio, which I will be co-hosting for Amy's Dark Hearts Book Club, is not until the 10th of June. So technically I still have time to read it, but as soon as May starts, I want to start with my books for Kelsey's /recurrent readathon. I'm a busy girl, so I'd rather stay on schedule. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I will decide later today, depending on my mood and after I have some coffee. So I'll talk to you later. Bye! Hi everyone, I'm just here to close the vlog. Escape the Readathon officially ended yesterday. I am in UK time, so for me it ended a little bit before everyone in the US. I had to go to bed, so I could only catch up this morning with what happened. Honestly, the last day or 2 were such a blur. I just remember we got past one basement door, but then there was more basement, and then we reached another door, and then I think we were out, and I think we eventually reached the door, but I was asleep already. I don't know, it was all just happening so fast, and I was truly battling for my life, trying to juggle work and the readathon. I just remembered at some point during a mood read section, I submitted Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, which finished off my Alice Feeney bender that I went on. Unfortunately, this one was the worst of the 3. Well, I think in some ways it was better than the other 2, but in most ways it was worse. I don't know, I just didn't like the story at all. So maybe that's why, in general, I didn't have such a good time with it. As I mentioned before, I think I will have a more detailed video reviewing all 3 of her books that I read. But yeah, I didn't end the readathon on the highest note. Also, the partiers finished in the last place. I think we just partied too hard. So yeah, we'll be trapped in the haunted house forever, but I don't really mind. Honestly, I think we had a lot of fun. I really think our team had such good vibes. We were always having the nicest conversations in the chat, and even though we clearly were doing really bad, everyone was super enthusiastic and super positive all the time. So thank you, partiers, for making this month such a nice time in general. And I hope you had as much fun as well. I guess I don't have much else to say. Obviously, I just wanted to thank Lexie for organizing all of this. It was such a huge amount of work, and I think in the end, it came out great. So thank you, Lexie, and also thank you to all the co-hosts. All of them are such lovely people and amazing booktubers. So I just love that I got to co-host this event with them. And obviously, thank you to everyone who participated, because it wouldn't have been as much fun without all of you. So yeah, I guess this is it, the end of an era, and the partiers will keep on partying together forever. Bye! What the hell was that?